Gateshead Thunder 18, Doncaster 12, and it's going to be a big 40 minutes. It is already for Gateshead, celebrating their championship. Doncaster season very much alive, looking for a playoff place, confirming a playoff place as high as they can in the table, and they've got it all to play for in the 40 minutes that remain here at Kingston Park. Ellery Hanley hoping that his side can do as they did in the first half and bounce back, having gone behind again, got through to 12-0 up, 12-0 down, got back to 12 all. Dave Woods' side ahead 18-12. What will happen in the next 40 minutes? Find out with Barry, Terry and Ben Pro.
Dave Woods' side going to be crowned champions in the manner that he wants, with a 19th win of the season. It looked so after a quarter of this game, but 2 tries in 5 minutes from Doncaster level things for Ellery Hanley's men, who have their own promotion ambitions as they target that vital 4th position. And Doncaster it is who have the first possession of this second half. It's Craig Lawton who will play the ball. Immediately the Gateshead defence in the faces. They will have had some words ringing in their ears from Dave Woods, who is desperate, as I say, to be crowned champions on the back of a victory. Corey Lorry. Deeper pass this time.
And it's a better starting set of 6. They're not just taking one-up carries, they're trying to do better deceptive, getting wider than first 3 defenders who are really getting up and putting pressure on the Doncaster players. But you talk about the direction that you get at half-time. Ellery Hanley must have really give this Doncaster side a bit of a telling off, because they've come out with the right step in the stride and they look up for the second half.
Should be a real contest in this second 40 minutes, and that collision there a real contest as Sean Lee thundered into the tackle there. This is Peter Green with some good defence for Doncaster, that time on Ben McAlpine. Who will take the ascendancy first in this second half. Ryan Clark hooking because Lewis McPhail has a injury. Dan Smith already sidelined with a broken thumb, so the hooking department, a real crisis position in this match for Gateshead Thunder.
Just look at the divots at the top of your screen there. Phil Clark mentioning at half-time that might play a role in this second half. It's very boggy. Great kick pressure from Doncaster on that occasion. The right area of the field, and we'll see what they've been talking about at half-time, what they want to do to Gateshead now.
Dan Russell's kick charge down, and Peter Green. This is Craig Lawton. Corey Lorry. Back on the inside is Nathan Freer. Doncaster inside that 20-metre Doncaster area, 15 metres away from the line. Josh Whedon now. Last one coming up for Doncaster. In a great position, it's with Luke Gale, and Gale's kick. Well, the Gateshead defence well marshalled, and it was Stuart Sanderson who was stationed in the right position. Kevin Neighbour now trying to bring the ball away from the danger zone for Gateshead Thunder.
But a lot more urgency for Doncaster. They're getting up, they're not waiting for Gateshead to make the plays, they're getting up in the faces. In the first half, they were standing back 5 yards. The Gateshead Thunder side were really getting a head of steam up, especially Jason Payne, who was exceptional in that first half. But Doncaster are going out and they're trying to put them off, and they're getting really in the face.
This is Jason Payne. The kick on the last from Dan Russell. Straight down the throat there is Zeb Luisi. And Bill downstairs with a man steeped in North East Rugby League history. Bill.
Yeah, with me, Mick Hogan, soon to become Chief Executive at Wigan Warriors, but in the days of your youth, very much involved with development of rugby league in the North East. One of the first development officers in this part of the world. Must do you very proud to see this.
No, it's a magnificent occasion. It's great for everyone that's stuck with the club over the last 8-9 years. Quite a lot of old faces here tonight, and quite right, they're enjoying themselves, and well done to them all.
And after what they've been through, Mick, of course, you know, 1999 Super League, then everything went kaput. To be here in the position they're in, it's not a bad achievement.
It's a tremendous achievement when you consider that last year I think they finished either bottom or second bottom. To have won the championship with a game to go is wonderful, and as I say, I hope they all have a wonderful night and drink a bit too much beer.
And of course, a couple of weeks' time, you'll be swapping this club, Falcons, for the job at the Wigan Warriors. Must be a great prospect.
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, I consider Wigan to be the biggest club in the world, and to be part of that going forward is tremendously exciting. Big challenge, but I'm sure we're going to do very well.
Just in time for a run to the grand final, maybe.
Well, hopefully.
Thanks, Mick.
Cheers.
Gateshead back in possession through Michael Knowles. That sole Super League campaign. They finished 6th in 1999, 2 points off the playoff position to top 5 in those days. And talking of the playoffs and the grand final, the RFL information line, it's 08 444 777 113. All the information you need to know about the grand final at Old Trafford on October the 4th, and the National League grand finals as well. They will tell you anything you need to know about the big day in the cooperative national leagues. And that, of course, is where Doncaster want to be. Gateshead already promoted, of course. It's Doncaster who want to qualify for National League One via the playoffs, and it's Wayne Retty in possession for them now.
Talking about Gateshead, you look down the team and there's a lot of ex-Castleford players there. There's as Bill was saying before, there's 9 Great Britain lads playing. In 1999, I remember Gateshead giving a player his first game, and that was Brian Carney. People seem to forget that he actually was given the chance by Sean McRae at the Great Gateshead Club.
Great run this from Andreas Bauer down the Doncaster right-hand side. Set up a platform, but that's the last tackle. Luke Gale with a pass for Corey Laurie. He's done brilliantly to offload there, Corey Laurie. This now is Josh Whedon. Hands the ball on for Gale again. In fact, it was Kyle Briggs' kick.
Michael Knowles absolutely creamed Corey Laurie. He managed to get the ball away, got good impact. And Doncaster giving away a penalty, and it's Corey Laurie.
Marker's not square, and a relieving penalty. Hans Gateshead a chance to cross the halfway line with the boot.
It's Josh Wheeldon actually who doesn't get square at marker. Both markers need to be behind them.
Josh Whedon, try already in this match. Strong run comes in, the first one from Brendan Hladd. Camped 5 metres away, and it's Dean Jameson trying to wrestle over. There's 3 Doncaster defenders there, Corey Laurie among them. That's Thorman. Now it's Dan Russell. Russell hands on to Michael Knowles. It's a run around. There's a gap opened up, and Dylan Nash trying to go over. Dylan Nash too strong, and Dylan Nash salutes his own try in the corner. But Ronnie Lawton is going to hand this one on.
They were just checking to see if he grinds the ball. That's a try.
Simpler decision, you would think, for the video referee, Ray Tennant. Dylan Nash, 18th try of the season, has been awarded. Got a 4-try haul against the London Scholars in May, a hat-trick and a loss at Keighley, and he has scored the first try of his evening tonight, Dylan Nash.
People think that Daniel Russell, the guy with blonde hair who's just getting the ball, they think that he's the main player. But you've got to look at Dylan Nash. He just gets outside of his man, hands him off with his left hand. Too much power, too much strength to crash over. Taking the ball to the line. But Dylan Nash, he's had a fantastic first half. He started off very strong in this second half and gets his try. They had to cope with what Doncaster were throwing at him. Doncaster started off very urgent, but again, they're just so professional. David Woods has instilled that into him. The turnaround from last year, from 11th place to winning the title with 1 game to go, remarkable turnabout.
Dan Russell faultless with the boot so far, but he has a difficult opportunity, and he hasn't got on target with that one. But just as they did in the first half, Gateshead strike early in the second period, and they've opened up a 10-point lead. They're ahead by 22 points to 12, and maybe Dave Woods breathing a little bit easier now.
I think what Dave Woods will be thrilled to bits with is their attitude towards defence. Michael Knowles come up with a great shot. He didn't manage to secure the ball, but Corey Laurie, who I've said before is the heartbeat of this Doncaster side, he's picked him up twice, drove him back, maybe breaking his will, trying to take away the wind out of his sails, and he was on hand to lend that final pass in that run around.
Dan Russell in the engine room for Gateshead, in possession again. This is Ryan Clark now. We've lost the ball though. It's Natani Suka who surrendered possession there.
He was just trying to free his arm, looking for that offload. Big guy Suka gets the ball through, tried to change his hands, just lost the ball. But attitude's about a defence now. It's about how Gateshead can really cope with this. They've got to attack the Doncaster players. When you defend, you don't just defend and be content with getting the guys to the floor. As I said in the first half, your defence is an attacking play.
And it's Doncaster on the attack now with Andreas Bauer. I beg your pardon, that's Luke Gale. Chris Lawson had his loan period from Huddersfield extended to the end of the season. Chris Lawson on the bench tonight. And some of the grass beginning to cut up, as Phil was saying at half-time. One or two players stumbling. Dean Colton on that occasion. Good offload. Another good pass this time. Picks out Josh Whedon. Expansive play from Doncaster. They know they have to throw the ball around. They trail by those 10 points. Kyle Briggs. It's Zeb Luisi trying to make the extra man. Last one coming up for Doncaster. Kick fairly tamely, originally into the arms of Ben McAlpine, who did slip himself, and it looked for a moment as if he was going to spill the ball as well, but McAlpine held on, and Gateshead will bring the ball away from their own line in the shape of Graham Stevenson.
Luke Gale and Doncaster going for position now, trying to make Gateshead work away from their own line. Ben McAlpine was fantastic then with the way he almost lost his footing, slipped whilst catching the ball, but still managed to keep hold.
Ryan Clark with a relieving run. One-handed pickup from Thorman. Laurie is there though in defence for Doncaster. Last one for Gateshead, and Ryan Clark's pass. Well, it's Chris Buttery who seized on the possession. It was the Doncaster pressure on the last. It's given them a great opportunity, and then they have a penalty as well, Doncaster. No composure there in the Gateshead defence as their line was broken, and Chris Lawson now is tackled high. It's Matt Barron. Doncaster with a great platform here, and Corey Laurie charging at the post. He's cocked the ball up though. That could be really expensive for Doncaster. A great position there for Ellery Hanley's men, and it's Gateshead who are in possession, and they have seen off that danger.
Corey Laurie was thinking far too much ahead of his teammates there. He tapped the ball quickly, went on his own. Nobody was in support of him. And that's where this Doncaster side have really let themselves down. You've got to push up and always be aware who's got the ball and where the ball is.
Dylan Nash gets Gateshead over halfway, but has sustained an injury for his troubles. Ryan Clark, Dan Russell now. This is Brendan Hlad now. Hlad for Thorman. Thorman finds Jameson. Tackle comes in from Craig Lawton. There's two others in there as well. Solid defence from Doncaster, but that's the last one for Gateshead Thunder, and it's Thorman with a slide rule kick. Wayne Retty is there. Retty out of the in-goal area, and Retty does really well. Composure there and the speed to get away from trouble.
Good feet from Wayne Retty. Saw that the Gateshead players were coming up on his feet. He just composed himself, come up with that step, landed on his front, come up with a quick play of the ball. But for these Doncaster players to get back into the game, Craig Lawton has really been trying to lift his side. If you run as hard as you can, you've got a chance of coming through the other side. And that's what we've done before. He's come through, offloaded the ball, and that's what they need to do, Doncaster.
Big weekend of rugby league that this kicks off. We saw Wigan Leeds and Catalan Wakefield highlights. You can see that at 11 o'clock on Saturday evening as Wakefield cross the channel. Then on Sunday, Sunday 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1, it's Castleford against Warrington. And then we wrap up on Monday from 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1 for Bradford against Hull KR. Huge weekend of rugby league on Sky Sports, and a huge night for Gateshead Thunder. 10 points ahead, set to be crowned champions whatever happens, and a huge night in the history of Gateshead Thunder Rugby League Club.
Call forward, you've interfered. Tackle's complete.
Andres Bauer hands Gateshead a penalty as well.
Second effort.
Been penalised for interference at the play of the ball. I think that was another 50-50 call. Doncaster need to mentally step up to the play. I think the things that have gone against them have really bothered them. For a set, 2 sets, and their heads have gone down, especially when Corey Laurie makes a mistake. It seems to almost ripple throughout the team.
Great platform again for Doncaster. Natani Suka. Suka will play the ball inside the 20-metre area. Neil Thorman. Dan Russell. Russell finds Ben McAlpine, and McAlpine stopped by 2. Working away to the right-hand side again in the shape of Michael Knowles. Knowles within 5 metres. Thorman now. This is Matt Barron. Camped under the Doncaster posts again. This is Thorman. Neil Thorman almost saw a gap there. Desperate defence again. Quick play of the ball though. Not the best pass. Gateshead look to have come up with it, but it's the turnover, and Dave Woods disgusted with that contribution there.
Well, let's credit the defence, Ben. Doncaster, superb goal line defence. First to react and put pressure on Thaka when he dived on the loose ball.
Corey Laurie waits, but there's an injury. And Dan Russell just alerting the referee's attention to the fact that Chris Lawson requires some treatment here.
Oh yeah, you just see his right leg just under the sheer weight of the 2 Gateshead players. Yes. Looks like a knee injury there. You always know it's serious when the opposition players, they hear the screams, hear the cries, and they react to that as well. Nobody likes to be in that position.
We're okay, lads. Let's bring the play of the
Chris
ball
Lawson.
Bring the play of the ball in.
Still in real pain.
Just looking at his strapping there, his right knee, if you look on the inside, he's got strapping on his medial, the inside of his right knee, and that was the direction that it went. It's just skin-coloured strapping.
You get no sympathy for your teammates. Luke Gale was just saying, get him off the pitch, get somebody else on. We've got to get into this game. We've got to keep up the speed. We're starting to go forward. Our defensive structure's been very good, and big players like that is going to get this Doncaster side back into the game.
Craig Lawton finds Chris Buttery on that right-hand side. Doncaster looking to respond despite the injury there to Chris Lawson. Back this way comes Peter Green. Great offload as well, popped up. Doncaster have to play expansively. Last one for Ellery Hanley's side, and Luke Gale's kick taken initially by Kyle Briggs. It ricochets, and Luke Gale has it back for Doncaster. Luke Gale driven into the ground there by Ben McAlpine. Second set here for Doncaster.
Kyle Briggs putting the pressure on, chasing up the kick, which made the Gateshead players make a play for the ball. But you've got to play expansive rugby, Ben, but you've got to make sure you control the ball. If you've got to offload the ball when it's on, you don't push the pass. They're chasing the game by 10 points, but there's still 23 minutes to go.
Craig Lawton takes 4 defenders with him to within 10 metres of that Gateshead line. Corey Laurie. Now it's Chris Buttery. Gateshead sees on possession in the shape of Ben McAlpine. Bill has some news for us.
Here we are, lads, come on.
It's paid off for Gateshead Thunder, this move to Kingston Park, because the crowd figure's just been released in a magnificent attendance of 1,751. And when you bear in mind that their biggest home crowd this year was 602, and that was for the game against York City Knights in July, and York will have brought a fair few fans with them that day, and so 1,751 here tonight is a great achievement for the Gateshead Thunder Club, and all the work that has been put in by the Thunder and their volunteers has paid off, and more evidence, as we've seen throughout the season, that the National League clubs, when they put their minds to it, can generate the interest. They've got the product, and it's just down to them to go out and spread the message, and the message, we hope, is getting through.
The cooperative National League clubs really have gone all out to get the huge crowds when Sky Sports are in town, and these Thursday nights really have become a fixture of the Rugby League week.
3, get off him, get off him. 3, get off him.
This
3, go.
is Corey Laurie trying to poach another one. We saw him do just that in the first half, and the Gateshead defence allied to that ploy. It's a penalty though for Doncaster. Dave Woods upset with that decision. Offside is the verdict though, and Doncaster have another chance to charge over in the shape of Michael Haley.
Get off him. 1.
Great possession, great position for Doncaster. Oh, deft kick there from Luke Gale. Almost came up there for Josh Whedon, but it's Dan Russell to the rescue for Gateshead Thunder.
Luke Gale putting a delicate little kick, a beautiful little kick, but he was putting it in actually for Josh Whedon to kick and chase, and he managed to react and get Danny Russell. He's not tackled here at this point. Luke Gale reacts, but he's right, Bill, you know, clubs and National League clubs and Super League clubs, if they were to times their attendance by thrill, they'd be absolutely thrilled to bits. They've done a great job here tonight.
Last time Sky Sports viewers saw Gateshead Thunder was the 30th of August 1999. They won 36 points to 32 at St Helens, and the coach that night was one Ellery Hanley. So maybe he doesn't like playing Gateshead Thunder when the Sky cameras are in town, trailing by 10 points today. But Doncaster in possession. Peter Green launches another Doncaster attack. They've had a lot of possession in the last few moments. Can they get over for a try as we enter the last quarter of this match? Kyle Briggs. Jeb Luisi with the extra man. It's Bauer gets the ball back to Luisi. Luisi finds Briggs. Kyle Briggs almost over. There's 2 in there. It's Thaka who has an important tackle, but another penalty for Doncaster. This pressure really being applied now by the visitors. It's Alex Benson camped on that Gateshead line. A try would really change the complexion of this match. They did it in the first half, of course. Peter Green on a roving run. Anxious moments for Dave Woods as Zeb Luisi comes into the line. He's made the extra man, and Josh Whedon in for his second try of the match. Josh Whedon, a crucial try in the first half, and an important try in the second half, much to the consternation there of the Gateshead Thunder coach. They refuse to lie down, Doncaster. It may be Gateshead's party, but Doncaster determined to spoil it.
Zeb Luisi coming up with the offload, and Josh Whedon backing up. There's a lot more urgency in this Doncaster side the second half. Zeb Luisi so strong, knocking off the Gateshead defenders. Josh Whedon just present to mind to back up the Zeb Luisi. What you do, you follow the guys who can promote the ball in a collision, and Zeb Luisi done that, passed the ball to Josh Whedon and got them back into this game.
Luke Gale, 2 from 2 so far, 3 from 3 now. The deficit cut to just 4 points. And Doncaster may just trail by 4. They will be looking for a victory, of course, but the bonus point on its own would edge Doncaster into 4th position.
Gateshead ultimately folded under the weight of possession that Doncaster had. Silly little penalties, holding on to the ball, not getting back on side will cost them dear. You only need to win the games once. They're out in front.
This second half is all about speed for Doncaster. Every time they've got a penalty, they've not looked to kick it out, they've looked to tap it, get on with the game straight away. And what's also very, very impressive, Ellery Hanley must have said, you're not putting enough pressure on Dan Russell. He's getting his kicks away far too easy. They've charged down 3 kicks, come up with possession, which has led to that try.
I tell you what, down here on pitch side, you get a good idea of just how soggy this pitch is. Mick Hogan was telling me after we spoke to him just a short time ago that if this game had been played early in the week, well, it would have been in doubt because there was water just sitting on the pitch here, and that was late on Tuesday, so they've done very well to get this pitch playable, even though it is very boggy, and it is going to be very tiring for these two sides. And just another word on the crowd, we were talking about these various initiatives that National League clubs have used to generate more enthusiasm, more interest from their supporters, and York City Knights coming up with another one. They play Rochdale on Sunday at Huntingdon Stadium, and they're offering free admission for all under 16. So that's for their game, the York City Knights against Rochdale at Huntingdon Stadium Sunday afternoon.
It's a boggy pitch, and Doncaster desperate to dampen this Gateshead party. They've come up with possession again, another high kick causing problems in the Thunder defence, and a great position now for Doncaster.
More kick pressure from Doncaster that time, in the form of pressure for the guy catching the ball. They've come up, got possession, and they make the most of it.
Wayne Retty is quick. Now it's Whedon. Luke Gale turns the ball back for Michael Haley. Patience for Doncaster. Corey Laurie, good pass. Josh Whedon looking for the offload. There's 2 in there. Dan Russell among them. It was the half-back pairing, in fact, Thorman and Russell, who clamped that ball, preventing the pass. Kyle Briggs. Zeb Luisi with a kick behind the defence, and Stuart Sanderson, quickest, takes the completely the right course of action and hacks that ball dead. Be a goal line dropout for Doncaster, but Ellery Hanley's men doing all the pressing now.
Clever little kick by Zeb Luisi, but Stuart Sanderson not gambling on that, looking to kick the ball out. He's got a bit of a problem with his hamstring there.
Come on, lads, let's go.
Grimacing, but he had to come up with that play. The Doncaster players were chasing really hard, putting him under all kind of pressure. If he would have caught it, might have fumbled the ball. Doncaster back in the game.
The dropout lands on halfway, and Alex Benson charges the ball back in for Doncaster, pulled down by Dan Russell.
Go.
Retty plays the ball. This is Peter Green now into the last 15 minutes. Just 4 points the difference, and Doncaster had lots of possession in this second period. They have surrendered possession in a promising position.
Doncaster looking to attack that middle. Michael Haley putting the pass just a little bit behind Luke Gale. The guy that played the ball, he was just in the way, just in the vision of Luke Gale. And they know that the weight of possession has been with Doncaster, and they have really put Gateshead to task. And in that last play, defensively, I saw Gateshead players coming out of the line, hunting for the shot, hunting for the mistake.
He put Luke Gale under a bit of pressure, and probably one of the smallest guys on the pitch against probably one of the biggest guys in Thaka 4.
Who?
Thaka 4.
Big hit there on Jason Payne. Chris Buttery in there alongside Andreas Bauer for Doncaster. Now it's Thaka again.
He really is a destructive player. Didn't get to see the best of him in the opening 20 minutes there. He's dropped the ball, in fact, in his haste to get up and play that ball. He hasn't got his thumb around the ball. There's a fair bit of interference from the Doncaster player. Alex Benson, I think it is.
Well, Ellery Hanley, even though his side won against York City Knights, he called the display awful. He bemoaned an atrocious defence, but His team have given him plenty to be proud of tonight against the champions. Only trailed by 4 points. And they have bossed things for large periods of this second half. Corey Lorry for Michael Haley this time. This now is Benson, Whedon. Patience again, shown by Doncaster. Corey Lorry has space. This is Zeb Luisi. Oh, and Zeb Luisi has put the ball down this time. They've had the opportunities, they've had the position. The ball just hasn't stuck when it's needed to for Doncaster.
Another 50-50 call in and around the ruck area. Lots of hands in at the ruck. Zeb Luisi ran 110 miles an hour onto that ball. I think some of his forwards need to look at the way Zeb Luisi is playing the game. Very static, quite shallow in the run-up. Consequently, they're easy to tackle, these Doncaster forwards.
25-1 shot for the title at the start of the year. Gateshead Thunder edging closer to their 19th win of the season. Kick straight down the throat there of Andreas Bauer. Another reminder of that Rugby Football League information line: 08444 777 113. All the information about the Super League Grand Final, also the Cooperative National League Grand Finals Day on September the 28th. Anything you need to know, that number open for business in the morning. Wayne Retty for Doncaster.
Gateshead are starting to get tired. They're a bit loose around the ruck. That's why the big guys seem to be going around there. Luke Gale directing him a big Thaka for, really trying to take some energy out of his go forward, because he's very destructive when he gets the ball.
This is Chris Buttery, and Buttery gets a brilliant offload away. Luke Gale. Maybe the Gateshead defence at 6s and 7s, but it's a good tackle on Peter Green. Quick play the ball though, and Corey Lorry in more space to exploit. Kyle Briggs spinning into the tackle there of Brendan Plaid.
That's the 5th tackle. They chose to run the ball. Tremendous offload from Chris Buttery. Threw it over his left shoulder without looking. Great reaction from the Doncaster players, but yet again the Gateshead defence was up to the task. Just watch this for skill. Fantastic.
Well, they'd scored 348 points, Gateshead Thunder, before today. The defence impressive as well, as we saw on that occasion, but it's Doncaster who have forced the knock on this time.
And it's Peter Green. That's what I say. When I say you attack when you defend, you've got to come up with that shot. You've got to dislodge that ball. And Mr. Doncaster himself, Peter Green, did just that.
That's right, over 200 appearances for Peter Green at Doncaster. His 8th season with the club, 56 tries. Andreas Bauer now trying to profit from that position. Wayne Retty. It's Michael Knowles who traps him down the legs there. Patient pressure, the hallmark again of this Doncaster attack. Peter Green close. Corey Lorry. Work it to the right-hand side. It's a good kick from Kyle Briggs, and Stuart Sanderson quickest again. Second time he's had to pat that ball dead before a goal line dropout. Sustained an injury as well. They're turning up the heat on this Gateshead defence now.
Kyle Briggs again, testing Stuart Sanderson, testing his side, but that's what you can do. Kyle Briggs had presence of mind to take the ball to the line, because the Doncaster players are playing the ball so quick. They weren't doing that in the first half. Barry touched on it. The forwards are running a lot harder. Look at Alex Benson wind up.
And a good, solid possession ratio there for Doncaster, 53%, and 21 minutes in the opposition half, and that's what really is causing this Gateshead rearguard some problems inside the last 9 minutes. Luke Gale's pass. This now is Craig Lawton, and just trying to force the ball maybe too much. The patience that was the watchword just seemed to disappear for a moment, and they've surrendered possession in the shape there of Craig Lawton.
Craig Lawton just coming on the inside, and it's Neil Foreman who dislodges the ball. Great work from Neil Foreman. He targeted the ball,
Come on, lads, let's get in here.
knowing that there was a chance that it might dislodge. But Craig Lawton has worked really hard tonight. An unfortunate mistake for them, for him. Gateshead back with the ball.
Only 5 points separated these sides when they met in that Northern Rail Cup quarter-final qualifier at the Thunderdome. Dangerous looking tackle again from Doncaster.
It's Josh Whedon. He's put himself about, hasn't he, this game, Ben? He's been everywhere in attack, everywhere in defence, really trying to mark his presence on the game.
Thacker gets them over halfway, and this now is Dan Russell. Russell faced by 2. This is the last one for Gateshead Thunder, and Thorman just about gets the ball away from Michael Knowles. It's Knowles' kick. Good kick as well. Zev Luisi, nothing he could do about that.
And that was
exactly the play that you need in this situation.
Michael Knowles just booted that as hard as he could. And inches to swerve with him going into touch and going in the in-goal area. But Dave Woods, he'll be happy. I think his guys really need to regroup. Defensively, they've been all over the shop in their own half defending, but they've got to try and build their energy levels up and try and come up with a play like Peter Green did with the Doncaster side.
Okay, lads, some square.
They will hunt the mistake now from Doncaster. Corey Laurie gets the ball away. Good hit, though, coming in from Jason Payne. Seems to have got through so much work, Jason Payne, particularly in the first half of this match. Meanwhile, this is Nathan Freer for Doncaster. 5th consecutive game tonight, the substitute. On loan from Hull until the end of August. 4 tackles gone. Corey Laurie. Kyle Briggs. The kick straight down the throat there of McAlpine.
Get off him. One, go.
Ben McAlpine plays the ball. This is Kevin Neighbour.
2, here we are, lads. 2, hold here. 2, go.
You get the feeling Gateshead are just clinging on by their fingernails to this match. Only a score still in it. Kyle Briggs' previous kick wasn't the best, but the reaction of the Doncaster side must fill them with confidence.
4, go.
Dylan Nash plays the ball. This is Thorman. Away from one. Great ball as well from Thorman. Hits Dean Jameson. Steaming through the hole. Jameson plays the ball. Thorman again. Outside of the foot from Thorman. Luisi is there. Backs himself there, Zev Luisi. So cool, so calm under pressure, and he's still in possession, Zev Luisi. This is a relieving run from Doncaster.
Zev Luisi doing incredibly well on that kick return. From great pressure from Neil Thorman. He's really getting his side going now. The last 6 or 7 minutes, he wants his side to finish in the way and in the manner that they should celebrate this National League 2 championship.
Doncaster won 3 away games with Gateshead. All 3 away games. That sequence is going to come to an end tonight if they can't get over for another try. 4 tackles gone, 4 points they trail. Spilled initially there by Ben McAlpine. Still in possession though, faced by Wayne Retty. Inside the last 5 minutes. Gateshead inching towards that victory that their coach so desperately wants. Stuart Sanderson. Not being pretty at times for Gateshead. It's been a determined effort from Doncaster, and they look to have secured the bonus point that will put them in 4th position. But Gateshead only care about the victory. Michael Knowles looking to put some gloss on the win, if that is what it's going to be. Neil Thorman for Dan Russell. Russell sends Wayne Retty back into his in-goal area. It's Zev Luisi who picks up, and Luisi skips away from one. He's skipped past the second as well. Eventually put down by McPhail, who's come back on for Gateshead Thunder. So Ryan Clark in the hooking position for a lot of this game, but happy to say that Lewis McPhail has rejoined the fray.
just saw then Gateshead, Dan Russell it was, who was saying that 3 more sets to defend. We've got to defend. They've got to defend this set.
Kyle Briggs found Corey Laurie into space on that right-hand side. He stayed in the field of play as well. This is Andreas Bauer, dumps the ball back.
Lewis McPhail really struggling in back play. The number 9 for Gateshead, limping. I think he's got a dead leg.
A knock on. See the frustration there on the face there of Michael Haley. He knows that there won't be too many chances left in this game. Look what it means to the Gateshead players.
Come on, Pete, get it.
They are so desperate to win this game. The title already secured, but that doesn't matter. This crowd want to see a victory. They want to see their side lift the crown in style.
Stay back, stay back.
And they're in possession. 3 minutes to go now.
And they've been put under all pressure. Ben McAlpine, what a game this guy's had. He's moved from the centre, come over that big break in the first half, moved to the full-back, and he's had a fantastic second half.
Lead in. 2, go.
Neil Thorman finds Dan Russell. Dave Woods won't want anything too expansive in attack for Gateshead. He just wants them to keep possession, play out the set of 6. Dan Russell now. Now it's Dylan Nash, and Dylan Nash trying to examine the Doncaster defence again. This could be the fairy tale finish that Gateshead are looking for. It's Michael Knowles.
5 and last. 5 and last.
Last one coming up for Doncaster. Michael Knowles inches short. Will play the ball for Ryan Clark. Clark finds Neil Thorman. Thorman's kick just about dealt with there.
All offside, lads. All offside.
Was Kyle
On your 10
Briggs
metres, wait.
in the right place at the right time,
On your 10 metres.
and a relieving penalty for offside goes Doncaster's way.
Ronnie Lawton, the judge that the Gateshead kick chase team was offside. Kyle Briggs did incredibly well. He was very brave. Picked up that ball, tried to get over the goal line. The penalty anyway, though.
Still a chance then for Doncaster. How cruel would it be if they were to snatch a victory and leave this Gateshead celebration a little empty? Have tackles in the bank. This is Nathan Freer now.
If Doncaster's going to come on with this big play and spoil that man's night, they're going to have to do it without Zeb Luisi. He's really struggling in backfield here.
Great kick. It looked almost to be collected by Josh Whedon, but brilliant defence there from Gateshead.
Michael Knowles, like David James almost. The England goalkeeper, he's had a fantastic game in defence, that bloke. Been very dominant every time he's got hold of somebody.
In agony, Michael Knowles, as a result of that contribution, it's cramp that is the problem. The referee still allows play to continue.
Hold 2! Hold, wait! Wait! 2, go.
Ryan Clark waits. This is Dan Russell. Now Natani Suka.
3, go!
Ryan Clark again.
4, and release!
Lewis McPhail off for treatment for the second time in this game. Neil Thorman. Dan Russell. 15 seconds. The Gateshead crowd, this record crowd, counting down to see their heroes crowned champions in style. The drop goal coming in from Neil Thorman. It's wide. Almost a fairy tale finish from one of their own there for Neil Thorman, but it doesn't matter. Gateshead have the victory. Look what it means to the Thunder players. Look what it means to this capacity record Thunder crowd. Gateshead Thunder, champions of National League 2, and the coach wanted them to go out in style. That's exactly what they've done. We haven't seen too many smiles on the face of Dave Woods this evening, but Dave Woods, who promoted with Castleford in 2005, a championship winner, a National League 1 winner 3 years ago. He's won the title again in National League 2 in 2008 with a 19th win of the season. Only 3 losses in this 2008 campaign. Only Barrow have lowered the Gateshead colours on home soil. But Gateshead, just as their coach wanted, they have been crowned champions, and they've won this one in the way that their coach demanded, by 22 points to 18.
Thanks, Ben. Well, if you're going to win a championship, if you're going to be crowned champions and celebrate your championship, what a way to do it. A cracking game like that, Dave.
Mate, yeah, it was a tremendous game of rugby league, and it's a great spectacle for everyone, you know, and just so proud of the boys. The way they gutsed it out. We lost a couple of blokes early, and that hurt us a little bit. But, you know, the way they gutsed it out, but, you know, full credit to Doncaster as well. They're a quality side, and I'm sure they're going to be in, you know, playoff.
Let's go and join the celebrations. Now, this season, I think only 3 defeats all season for you. But this is the sort of performance you've put on, isn't it? Gutsing it out.
It is, mate, yeah, and, you know, the boys have worked hard. They deserve everything they get, and, you know, when we've played like this all year, and we've been, you know, we've been winning all these games, and it's great. You know, I'm just so proud of them.
And from a personal point of view, Dave, you must take a great deal of satisfaction in maybe proving a point here?
Yeah, definitely. You know I can coach, and, you know, I'm glad Steve Garside's given me the opportunity to come here and work with these bunch of blokes, and, you know, look, you know, everyone says about how our spectators, we haven't got many, but you heard them. They never.
You got 1,751 tonight. That's another win, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, they never shut up the whole game, and just really, really happy for everyone.
Now, presumably, the dust will settle and you'll already start thinking about life in National League One.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we started thinking about that last year, and you know, we're going to make sure that we work really hard, because we don't want to be going straight back down. We want to make sure that we're there, and we're given a good run for our efforts.
Thanks very much, Dave. You go and join the celebration, and we'll go and try and find your captain, Neil Thorman, who's not done a bad job for you, has he? The Thorman family, in fact.
Yeah, well, we've got 3 captains, Tabua and Neil, and Neil's our club captain, and Dan Russell, and you know, the 3 of them have done a tremendous job, and Chris came in and spoke to the boys before the game, and, you know, it's great.
Oh, Chris gave you a bit of a pep talk, did he?
Yeah, he did. He came in the sheds and then had a chat with the boys, which was tremendous.
Thanks, Dave. Will you go and join the gang? We'll just go in among these Thunder players. And here he is, one of the co-captains. Come here. You're going to be live on Sky Sports, and to be in front of a crowd of 1,751 celebrating like this, and having been through, as you said on Boots and All midweek, a lot of this club, must be very sweet.
Yeah, it's definitely very sweet. It's definitely worth it for all them fans out there. We've had a long season, way back when, and it's all worth it. All worth it, all these lads. Everybody, all 25 squad have made an awesome effort today. It's just shown today.
And a good, tough battle to win the title.
Oh yeah, Doncaster give us a tough battle. They did not let up at all. Full 80, and they went hard all the way. They wanted to win that, and we just pushed it harder.
And what about the future then for National League One?
Well, we've proved 3 losses this year. That's a great deal, and it just shows we can play it with the big boys now. Just imagine that from a North East team, eh?
Well, let's bring another of the local players in, Kevin Neighbour. You said what was needed tonight was a bit of vigorosity, and you certainly had that.
Yeah, we showed them bucket loads today. First 20 minutes, real tough. Doncaster came out all firing. We couldn't get our breath back, but we stuck in defence till the second half.
Certainly in the second half, you really had to dig deep, didn't you?
Yeah, we went out off our game plan a bit. We dropped a fair few ball, and it was pretty tough, but we hung in there. We knew we could do it. We've been saying this all year. We stick in, we'll go as a team, we'll see us together. Let's come out on top.
And what about this crowd?
It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. This many people from around here would come to see this. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal.
Thanks, Kevin. Well done tonight.
Cheers, Dean.
Chris Thorman. The Thorman family have been mob-handed here tonight. There's been 30 of them. 30 sitting in the stand?
Something like that. It's all the females you can hear as well.
Your mum?
Yeah, basically my mum, yeah. Fantastic achievement tonight. I think you can see what it means to them. You know, I don't think that you saw much of the offensive ability of the team today, but I thought, you know, the resilience showed how much they had to defend the line, and just basically what it means to them. You know, they wanted to go out on a high. I spoke to them before the game. They wanted to go out on a high before the game, and they didn't want it to be an anticlimax, and you know, they've certainly done themselves justice again tonight.
They've got a great crowd here tonight, Chris. Obviously, you know, the one-off experiment of playing here at Kingston Park has worked. what about long term? Could you see, you know, there is a potential maybe here?
I think, you know, it certainly generates a lot more atmosphere, a ground like this. You know, they've been at the Gateshead Stadium for a long time now, and, you know, they struggle to get any sort of atmosphere. But, you know, for any of the people that have come down here, I think, I don't know how many, you know, tickets they've sold for tonight, but it's a fantastic atmosphere. And, you know, the more Geordies they get in here, the better, and, you know, the more successful the club are going to get.
Well, they are successful tonight. They're going to receive this National League trophy from Sean Greenwood from the sponsorship department at the sponsors, the cooperative. They'll all get their championship medals. And one of the co-captains will be lifting the trophy. We've seen some great nights in National League Rugby League this season, haven't we? And this is another one.
The timing's absolutely perfect tonight, isn't it? We've come here, the atmosphere inside the ground's wonderful. You know, just wanted to be a part of it. And the thing about Rugby League, the game allows you at times to show great ability in attack, but as we also said, the ability in life to hang on when times are tough. And I thought that Gateshead did that tonight. Their opponents had twice as much possession in the second half, attacking but couldn't quite break through often enough to go ahead and win this game. And I think it was great to see the spirit that's been built up over a 12-month season rewarded in that second half effort.
And as we said at the top of the programme, OK, second from bottom last season. Only Blackpool kept them off the bottom. They have been through all sorts of trials and tribulations since their inception. Sport is fantastic for rewarding a trier, isn't it? And this is a club of triers.
It certainly is, and I think that if you can find some people with an energy, a drive and a passion to run any organisation, you've got a chance of improving things. And that's what they've certainly had here at Gateshead. And what we're getting to see here at the end of 12 months is the reward for all of that hard work and some good local endeavour. I think the area of northeast of England certainly large enough to support a rugby league side, one that I hope can grow in the next 12 months.
So that trophy being lifted by Danny Russell and Neil Thorman. And the Thunder Army are celebrating tonight. And Thunder Army and Gateshead Thunder celebrating. Not words you've found in conjunction too often in their history, but they now have something to celebrate.
Well, you've got the feeling, haven't you, here tonight, witnessing something hopefully special, that they can grow on from here, they can improve for next season, grow as a club, grow in attracting more junior players to the game of rugby league in the northeast, and actually kick on next year in National League One. You know, there is a feeling, isn't there, that the local talent over time will build up, and we've seen some of that evidence here tonight with the players on show.
I just want to grab a word with another of the long servers here, Chris Hood. Chris, you're live on Sky Sports. As somebody who's been involved a lot of the way with the club, how good is this?
Oh, it's unbelievable. You can see what it means to people. It's just the feelings that it brings. We've had so many sort of highs and lows, so many just such tough times, but with a bit of belief, with a bit of hard work, you can just achieve whatever you want.
I think we better get out of range. I tell you who else is very, very pleased to see this, and that's the regional development manager, George Taylor. And you're working hard. You're Mick Hogan's successor, or one of his successors in a way. We're just getting out of range of the champagne. From your point of view, from the developed point of view, from Gateshead Thunder, for Gateshead Thunder to have done this, does your cause a power good?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Gateshead Thunder now taking a lot of time to look outside the stadium, to do a lot of development work with the local clubs. They're involved in every primary school that we go into with our development work. It's fantastic work. You know, they're doing great for us, and this is a great benchmark for them. So
the party is starting, and you better go and join it, Chris. So Gateshead celebrating. Well, there's cricket coming up on Sky Sports tomorrow. Sky Sports 1 and HD1. England take on South Africa. It's the first of the one-day internationals. And then there's live rugby league coming up on Friday. Wigan take on Leeds at the JJB, 7:30, Sky Sports 2 and HD2. And that is followed by Super League Extra Time via the red button. So a big weekend of rugby league to come on Sky Sports. A big night of celebration to come here on Tyneside. Gateshead Thunder, the Cinderella club, wooden spoonist last season, celebrating champions of National League 2. It's going to be some party.